And welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. It is Wednesday night, 6:05. We appreciate you tuning in. And back home this week, our director, Johnny Nunez, who we all know he's the best. We're giving him another week off. It's vacation time. Everyone's got plans. Everyone's busy this summer because think about it. Week 0 for high school football is right around the corner now, August 20th. So not a lot of time to, really take vacation, spend time with family, do things you want to do, even though it's hot out there. But so Johnny Nunez, our director, taking the night off, but we're still doing it from the Fernandez household inside the living room, actually. In fact, after this, I'm going to go watch the new episode of Loki. I'm so excited to see that. I'm a big Marvel nerd, so I'm excited to see that as well. But tonight, we're talking high school football. It's our pledge to you guys to talk high school football in every single show. And this guy has always been so generous with his time. We always do appreciate it. He's the new head football coach for the King Wolves. Joining us live on the show, it is Jason McMains. And Coach McMains, first off, congratulations on the new gig. And I do want to talk King Wolves, but my first take is for any high school football coach this season, there's not really an off season, right? I mean, we got out of spring football, and we're going like right into the fall season. I mean, what's the offseason been looking like for you?
Well, you're right. But I have had a little bit of an offseason because of, the whole transition period and doing all the clearance paperwork and all that stuff. So we've definitely, had about, 2 or 3 weeks of, just some downtime. So, it was nice to get a little bit of rest and relaxation and spend some time with my daughter now that, that she's down here for the summer and everything. So that was good. But, as of last Tuesday, we were able to finally, get announced and make it official. And we've been going, pretty much every day since,
Well, you know this, and I think everybody knows this. These head football coach vacancies, these openings are kind of like the worst kept secrets in the Inland Empire. But I'm really glad you came on the show. I do appreciate it. And so now you go up Wood Road. Now you're at King High School. Coach, I don't know how long you've had to be with the guys, maybe a week or two. I'm not sure what that time frame exactly is, but what's your first impressions of the King Wolves so far?
Oh, I love the players, man. They, they're so coachable. They come ready to work. They're able to adjust to anything. Obviously, they've been waiting around, for a new coach to be announced. So they've been doing a lot of stuff with, the staff that was with them in the springtime. They got a lot of work done in June and just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen. So they're all ready to work. Their work ethic is amazing, and we've been there, exactly a little bit over a week. We started last Tuesday, and every day, we're just myself and my coaches out there, just very, very excited of what we see and how many guys we got out there, and at all 3 levels. That we're very pleased, very excited with what we see with those players out there.
Coach, kind of going back to the first question I asked you about, not having much of an off season. Here we are, not much of an off season, and then going to a new school. Do you feel like you have to prepare maybe a little bit differently? You simplify things, or go back to basics, or is there any kind of a different approach considering all coaches have a shorter off season, and now you're starting a whole with a whole new program. What's kind of the philosophy, maybe your approach now to get ready for that first game in a shorter amount of time?
I think we are, there is a sense of urgency, definitely, but at the same time, as I met with the coaches and now even the players day one, it's we're number one is setting our culture, and making sure our players understand what we want King football to look like, so yes, we're installing some things, but not as that's not as quickly on our mind right now as the work ethic and what we want our football players to do and to be and to act, and how we do things, not really, we're not so concerned about what we do, we're more concerned about how we do it, right now. And so building that framework, that culture right now. That's first and foremost. And then I think something that the spring taught us, especially us with the very short amount of time that we had, is we realized that, yeah, we can put together, an offense and defense and special teams, in a small window. Us coaches like to plan everything out, and we have, our things, that, our steps of how we do things. But, for us, during the spring at Scissors, we didn't have that. It was like, hey, we're playing and you got a couple weeks to prepare. So get out there and go, So that taught us a lot, So we definitely know that we, can start building that stuff in a short amount of time. But right now, the sense of urgency is really establishing our culture, and what we want at King High School.
Yeah, because I would imagine there's just sort of a feeling out period, right? The players need to know you, and you need to know the players, and just building that bond, right? Like you said, beyond the X's and O's, just building that before you get to that first game.
Oh, yes, and that, that's huge. The culture and the relationship piece, the trust, is huge to gain that, and then then the install stuff will come. That'll be the easy part. But we definitely want to establish, what we want King football to look like in that culture.
Well, Coach, I mean, you've coached against some really good teams, whether, you were at Rubidoux or Citrus Hill or wherever the case may be. But when you go to the Big 8 League, I feel like it's a whole different world that you're stepping into, going against, the likes of Centennial and Norco, and I could go on and on because I don't want to leave anybody out. But man, that's great competition. I mean, how do you kind of gear the guys up and maybe try to turn a corner on this program so you can compete with some of those premier programs that we see here in the IE?
Well, it's definitely a great challenge. I mean, as a coach or as a player, you want to compete at the highest level, and so don't shy away from it. Let's attack it and let's go have some fun with it, and so. But I think that goes back to the culture part, right away is establishing the work ethic. If we want to face the great competition in the Big 8 and even who we have in the preseason, then it starts with our work ethic, and how we do things around here. And once we do that, once we establish that, then, the results, can come from that.
So, Coach, final question. How would you describe a Jason McMains football team? Like, you talk about culture and what you're trying to bring to the King Wolves. How would you describe what you're trying to bring?
Well, it's based on 4 words, and 3 of them that I got, from my great head coach, Wayne Cochran, that still, lives into me this day, and is a big influence. But, we want our players committed, we want them to display courage, at all times and battle through adversity. We want them to do it with class and act the right way on the field and in the classroom. And then we want these guys to compete, bottom line. And that's what we talked about, being in the Big 8 and all the great opponents that we're going to see. Don't shy away from it, and let's go out there and compete against the best, and lay it all out there. And we tell the players every day, we're gonna base our football program on those 4 words, and then your responsibility is just to be your best, and give us your best every day, and let's get better, and always looking forward. So, as far as our football team, commitment, courage, class, compete. That's what we're all about.
Well, Coach, you're always so generous with your time. I really appreciate it. I know you're getting ready for that first game. In fact, I think you're at school right now, right? Is that the new office, the new King High School head?
I'm actually in the training room office right now because I got my defensive staff, watching film with a group, so they overtook my computer. So that's why I tried to log in a little early just to do a mic check with you and make sure everything was working. So.
Look at this. You're big time. You've done this so many times. You get it. The mic check, make sure the signal is clear and strong. Like, you totally get it by now.
Hey, I don't want to let you down, man. Got to make sure we're prepared for you.
Well, you're the man, Coach McMains. I always appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to work, but hopefully we'll get to talk again soon.
Hey, I do want to say before I leave, I do echo all the coaches' statements on social media that I saw recently about, what you do for us in high school sports and for myself and our program. We can't thank you enough, man. You are the man, Pep. Thank you for what you do for our game.
Well, thank you, Coach McMains. I appreciate those kind words. And best of luck this upcoming season. That is Coach Jason McMains, head football coach for the King High Wolves. We'll be right back with more Inland Sports Show right after this. Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team? Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken Sporting Goods. It has been a lot of fun because when I first came to the Inland Empire, the Centennial High School boys basketball program was just beginning the rise with, Cedric Bearfield, Finley. These guys, you could see the program building. So to be here on a night when they're being celebrated as well, it just blows me away. So this means the world to me to share it with them and the girls basketball team and Norco lacrosse as well. And just a quick shout out to my beautiful wife, Tara, because I'm gone so many nights and weekends. Games and broadcast games and do shows, and she holds down the fort with my kids, Alana and Ellie over here. So just a quick shout out to her because she makes it happen for me to be here.
Now I know Mr. Mitchell's not here, but you got to give us a Santiago shout out. Okay.
Oh, Steve Mitchell's not here?
Yeah, I didn't see him.
All right.
Okay.
Santiago.
All right.
Sorry, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Well, a big thanks to the Corona Norco Unified School District for that recognition last night. I really appreciate it on behalf of everyone that plays such an important part with inland sports. I don't want to leave anybody out, but Johnny Nunez, our director, who's taken the night off. That's why I'm here at home. Stephen Kono, Bradford Evans, Cullen Holt, Elijah Green, Daryl Trujillo. We've got such a great team that makes things happen. So representing on behalf of Inland Sports, I say thank you to President Bill Pollock and all the board there for the Corona Norco Unified School District. Quite an honor recognizing Inland Sports for our dedication and coverage to local sports. They even said it, even beyond those Corona Norco, Eastvale, schools, if you will, including Roosevelt, even beyond that, including the entire Inland Empire. So it was an honor to be out there. And again, thank you so much. I humbly say thank you for that recognition. All right, in this segment, we want to touch on the Major League Baseball draft because, once again, it was very, very good to our local players. A lot of them, as you're about to see, went from local high schools on to big-time colleges and then went to the draft. Sometimes you see high school guys jump straight to the pros. Not so much the case this year with only 20 rounds, which is better than 5 rounds from last year when we were right in the pandemic. So let's take a look at a graphic with most of our guys here who were picked in the Major League Baseball draft. The first guy off the board, kind of knew this was going to happen. This guy is legit. So is his brother Tristan. But Brendan Beck, the pitcher out of Corona High School and the Stanford Cardinal, going to the New York Yankees in the second round. In fact, I was texting with Brendan. He was going to do the show tonight, but he's actually en route right now to Tampa to meet with the Yankees. The Yankees have a facility down there in Florida in the Tampa area. He is en route to meet with the Yankees and get his assignment there. So Brendan will be doing the Inland Sports Show in the very near future, maybe even next week. We tried to get him tonight, but the Yankees scooped him up too fast. But congratulations to Brendan Beck, man, one of our favorite guys. Then check it out. Boisier from Woodcrest Christian, Andy Thomas, Murrieta Mesa, Tyler Hardman, Temescal Canyon, Carson Seymour, Great Oak, Michael Hobbs, also Corona guy, Andre Granillo from West Valley, the very first player from West Valley High School to get selected in the Major League Baseball draft. He's also a UCR Highlander, and also in the 18th round, Damon Keith out of Redlands East Valley and California Baptist. He's going to the Dodgers. In fact, Damon Keith was also going to do the show tonight, but he also, listen, guys, you get drafted and you get super busy all of a sudden. So Damon couldn't do the show tonight, but like Brendan Beck, he's another guy that we're trying to get on the show in the very near future, maybe even as early as next week. But there you go. There's our local guys. Marcos Castanon, also from Carter High School. He played his college ball at UC Santa Barbara. He was a 12th round pick of the San Diego Padres. So once again, the Inland Empire well represented in the Major League Baseball draft, and so excited to hear these guys' names called, even with the shortened draft. Normally it'd be 40 rounds. This year only 20, but still we had a bunch of guys select, and that's very cool to see. So congratulations to all of our local guys from the Inland Empire who heard their names called in the Major League Baseball draft. That is very exciting for them and their families, right? That's big time. Also, some high school football here this past weekend. If you haven't seen the highlights, we posted them on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. But let's take you down to, it's the Golden Bear Classic down there at Temecula Valley High School. Some 7-on-7 action, and we go straight to the championship game. It was Temecula Valley taking on Eisenhower for the Golden Bear Classic passing tournament title, and it was Temecula Valley winning. If my math was right, 32-24. I do know the Golden Bears won. Got a little chippy at the end, but I think the score is 32-24, and Eisenhower looked good. So did Temecula Valley. It was a real shootout and a lot of fun. And again, we had Golden Bears head coach Bert Esposito on the show last week, and I joked with him that it just really doesn't feel like summer until we have the big passing tournament. First it was Paloma Valley, but now at Temecula Valley with Coach Esposito. So that was a lot of fun, and the Golden Bears looked good, man. They had used a couple different quarterbacks, as did Eisenhower, and then they got some great receivers there. So both those teams are going to be in good shape coming up this fall. They both have some great skill position players. So excited to see what Eisenhower's going to do up there in the San Andreas League and then the Arrowhead Athletic Conference, and also Temecula Valley trying to get back on track in the Southwestern League. And that's going to be tough, and especially Temecula Valley. Split results, I guess you could say, this spring, and Eisenhower didn't even play any games this spring. So both these teams are looking forward to the fall season. So big shout out to Coach Marita, Coach Esposito, all those guys down there at Temecula Valley, always rolling out the red carpet for the Inland Sports Show. We do appreciate it. Again, a lot of fun, man. This isn't real football, but it's still a lot of fun. It's ultra competitive. The guys get into it, and it was fun all the way to the championship game. So congratulations to Temecula Valley your Golden Bear passing tournament champions this past Saturday night against Eisenhower. And if you're just tuning in, we do have all those highlights right now on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, and we also posted highlights from a couple different games and teams on Inland Sports social media. That's Inland Sports Instagram. Yeah, we do the gram, and we're also on Twitter, Inland Sports Twitter, so make sure you give us a follow on both of those. We'd really appreciate it. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to have the new head football coach for the Temecula Prep Patriots, the great Corey Dawson. We'll have that when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. And we have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Hey guys, it's Pep Fernandez from the #1 sports show in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. I wanted to let you know about the BASS School. That stands for the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. All of us are trying to find a way to get ahead in the classroom and in athletics. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Wanting to give your son the best opportunity to succeed. BASS is an all-boys private middle school servicing 7th and 8th grade student athletes. They've got unique, customized curriculum for student athletes, individualized nutrition and athletic development, plus rigorous academic development with small class sizes. This is not an online homeschool. This is a private school for students who are serious about their grades and serious about their sports. BASS school enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year begins in January, so don't wait. Lock up your spot today. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for more information.
I want to give a quick shout out to our guy Taiwan Walker, the pride of Yucaipa High School, making his first All-Star game. He's a starting pitcher for the New York Mets. He's had some really good seasons, but none like this. So congratulations to Taijuan Walker, the pride of Yucaipa, getting into the All-Star game, representing the Inland Empire, man, one of our guys. So that's always exciting to see. Our boy Shohei Ohtani has 33 home runs here at the All-Star break. So he's closing in on the Angels' single-season record. Who owns the single-season record, and how many home runs is it?
Boy, that's a good question. I would definitely think it's Mike Trout, because I cannot think of another Angel who's hit that many home runs other than maybe like Reggie Jackson from the 80s. I would guess Mike Trout.
I just can't think of another Angel Mike Trout.
My first thought before I actually looked it up, my first thought was Tim Salmon, the kingfish, right? Not Trout, but the other fish.
The other fish. That's right. There was a pre-Trout fish.
Pre-salmon, true.
But I was wrong too. It was your boy Troy Gloss. He had 47 ding-dongs in 2000. So Troy Gloss, 47 is the number. But Shohei Ohtani, with 33 right now, well on his way to breaking the Angels' single-season mark. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Again, a big thanks to Jason McMains, new head football coach at King High School. And congratulations to all of our local baseball players who heard their names called in the Major League Baseball draft the last couple of days. Very exciting for them and their families, right, to live out that dream of playing professional baseball. But now join us on the show. He is the new head football coach for the Temecula Prep Patriots down there in Winchester. It is Corey Dawson. And Coach Dawson, first off, thanks for joining us on the show. I do appreciate it. And, obviously you have ties to Heritage High School, and you're still part of the other Patriots, I should say. But I wanted to ask you, is this your first head coaching gig, and how did this kind of come about for you at Temecula Prep?
Yeah, it's pretty much my first high school coaching gig. I coach, of course, the youth organizations here in the Inland Valley area. So, and then one day I was just sitting at home. I got an email from our AD, Jason Litt, and said he was looking for a varsity football coach. First, I was like, is this a joke? What's going on? Then, I responded back to it. He called me back, and he was like, yeah, I'm dead serious. We're looking for a coach. We will reach out to you. And I was like, okay. I met with him. We kicked it off. We had a long conversation, and next thing I know, I'm meeting with the guys, and we're out there throwing the football around.
So, obviously, like you said, you're well known in the football world down there. But is it different being the head coach as opposed to, let's say, because I know you've worked with different programs, including Heritage. But is it different being the head coach? Because I feel like assistant coaches get to coach; they do the fun stuff, and the head coaches, they're fundraising, they're dealing with parents, they're lining up the bus travel, they're doing all those other things because you're the head coach now.
Yeah, this is one thing Broach didn't make me. He wanted us. It's a lot different. I'm there, morning, and there at the afternoon. The assistant coaches come in. They're there for 2 to 3 hours, and they leave, and they're like, "Man, you looking tired?" Because I've been dealing with a lot. We head coaches do a lot, but it's all fun. I mean, like when you're surrounded by a bunch of good people, the good kids I got over at Temecula Prep, and of course my coaches, the coaches that come in. There are a lot of coaches show up in the morning shifts and the afternoon shifts. So, and then of course we got a great AD over there. So we're, everything's going great. So I'm looking forward to it.
So, Coach, I'm not super familiar with, how charter schools operate, but how is a charter school maybe different, in terms of football as compared to a normal public school?
With the charter schools, most of the kids at Temecula Prep majority of the kids on our team, they started there when they were, in elementary school. So with the charter schools, you can't have kids just transfer in, just to play football or transfer in and play any sport. They had to go through the whole lottery process, and then once they win the lottery, that's basically what it is. If they win the lottery, then they're accepted to the school. So it's we can't just say, hey, come on over and play football for us, because it's a whole lot. It's a process with the lottery and all that stuff. So that's one reason why I love this gig. It was a big interest to me, knowing that the kids that are there have been there since they were in elementary school. They just want to play football. They want, they want to be in a big school program. They don't want to be in a big school program. They just want to play football and compete with the rest of, what they see on the Pep Fernandez show. So that's what they're all about.
And speaking of, wanting to play football, Coach, I think maybe one of the perks of playing at a smaller school is, if you want to be out there every single play, you might actually play Ironman football. If you're a good football player, I'm sure you got some guys who are already thinking, okay, they're going to be on offense and defense, probably special teams too, right? When you're at a smaller school, like if you want to play football, you're probably going to play a lot of football.
Yeah, my quarterback is my middle linebacker. So, that's one thing. Ironman football is definitely, and that's I love it. The kids love it. They don't want to come off the field. Even on 7-on-7, we have kids that are bleeding and sweating and out of breath, and we pull them off the field, and they get upset. I was like, man, you guys look tired. We're not tired, So yeah, they love it, and we love it. Coaching the Ironman football. As like I said, these kids. People don't say too much about them because they're not going to one of the big schools in the area, but they just love to play football, and it's one thing we love doing. I love coaching it, so that's one thing I love watching them do is play. So
Coach, how has this summer been? You mentioned some 7-on-7. What kind of stuff are you guys doing right now to kind of build up towards that first game of the year in the fall?
We've been practicing. I would say doing hammer little camps, working out the weights. This is some of the kids. I've never seen kids want to hit the weights like these guys. And a lot of them have professional training, it seems like, already too. And they're definitely hard in the weight room. And we did some 7-on-7. We actually were with Rancho Christian last night. Did some good work with them. We have a tournament this weekend, a Lakeside tournament. A lot of big schools are going to be out there, so it gives us a chance to go against some of the schools, the big schools that have 1,000 seniors. Enrolled to the school. So we're looking forward to that this weekend. The kids are fired up about it. They want to compete with the bigger schools, and we're looking forward to going out to Lakeside and competing with those guys.
And Coach, finally, I was talking to you a little bit off air about, it wasn't too long ago, like I forget, it was I think 6 years ago, you said that, Temecula Prep was doing 8-man football. They made the jump. Now you're 11-man. As you're trying to build a basically kind of a newer program and get to a level where you can compete with some of the larger schools in that area, what do you think are the keys to success? I mean, you've been around some great programs. Your sons were studs. You've seen it firsthand. What do you think? What are the secret ingredients? What's the keys to kind of building a program and not just having a good year, but building a program so you're good year after year?
Is getting first is getting the kids to buy into the culture. Of course, coming into a new program, I've learned a lot, especially with Coach Moore, the AD over at Heritage, and now transferred over to Liberty. Learned a lot from him. Of course, Coach Broach. He actually was the first coach at Heritage, and building that program over there to be CIF champions. So it's basically just having the kids buy into the culture. Once the kids buy into the culture, make sure the community buys into it. Some of the things that even they did at Heritage, the legacy program, I kind of bite off of that. I brought that over with us. We're trying to build a community around us. We get the community to buy into the program, get them to come out to the football games. So we're a small school right in the middle of Winchester. We don't even have lights, but we bring the lights in. We're going to light the place up, and we're going to have some good old, it's like backyard football. But these kids, like I said, they pretty much brought into our new culture that we're bringing over, and that's why they love to be out there. And that's why these guys come out there in the morning, come in the afternoon, and once that's all, kids are all brought into the culture, and then the community's brought in, which is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna light things up. It's gonna be pretty fun. And I'm looking forward to some of the guys out there. My senior class. I got 5 guys on the senior class. Nico Warren, he's going to be a stud. I told that kid, once his confidence builds up, he's going to be amazing. Got a couple good receivers, Carter, Evan. It's going to be, these guys are ready to go. They're ready to enjoy. They missed their junior year, so they're ready to get out there and play for their senior year. And even the lower classes, Nico's brother, Vince, he's going to be a stud for years to come for the program. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Coach, actually, one more thing before I let you go. I was digging around Max Preps and looking at your schedule and, your roster and stuff. But I saw one of your sons. Is he coaching with you this year?
Yeah, Cameron is out there helping us with DBs. He loves it. Jaden's first out in Idaho State. Yeah. He's like up out there now, and he's just made All-American or something. I forgot what it was. But Cameron's out there. He's definitely helping out. He wants to be a part, and he's with our DBs and wide receivers. The kids love him, have him out there. He comes out there with his College of Idaho stuff on, and they look at him like he's a celebrity. And I was like, no, he's just one of you guys. He just wants to help out the program. He wants to help it, succeed as well. So he's fired up. He just graduated from college, so he's ready to help out with the boys. So.
That's so awesome. Well, Coach Dawson, listen, I really appreciate the time. Hopefully we can do this again, and best of luck this upcoming season. It was really good talking to you.
No problem. I appreciate it, Pep. Just like Jason said earlier, man, I've been watching you for I believe it could be 10 years, and you huge part of the high school football world in the Inland Empire, Inland Valley. We love you, man. Keep doing it. Keep it up. I'll definitely be watching 11 o'clock every single night before I get my film ready. So I appreciate everything you do for the Inland Empire.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. And you're right. It has been 10 years, and I'm starting to get the gray hairs to show it. Like, I'm losing that battle already. So
I shaved my head since I started this.
Coach Dawson, you're the best, man. I really appreciate it. Best of luck this upcoming season at Temecula Prep. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Pep. Appreciate you.
All right, that's Corey Dawson, Temecula Prep Patriots, joining us here on the show. We're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk a little softball with Orange Vista coach Roy Johnson. That'll be next on the Inland Sports Show. The time is now. The Boost Training Center is open for business and ready to help all the athletes across the Inland Empire. Doesn't matter the age or the sport, if you go to Boost Training with Coach Ray Bass, they're going to make you bigger, faster, stronger. So if you're out there looking to train this offseason, talking about all you football players especially, check out boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website. You can find a strength and speed class just for you this offseason so you can be even bigger, better, faster, stronger this upcoming season. Give them a call or text at 951-532-4904 to reserve your spot today. Strength and speed training at Boost Training System. And don't forget, enrollment is open right now for the Bass School. That's Boost Alternative School for student athletes. You can check out what they have to offer at boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website once again, and you can enroll for the 2021-2022 school year. Again, this is not an online school. This is a private school specifically for 7th and 8th grade boys. Check it out today because space is limited.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
The time is now. The Boost Training Center is open for business.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to Coach Dawson at Temecula Prep football, also Coach McMains at King High School. We're talking a lot of high school football right now because we did have that abbreviated spring season, but we also had a very busy spring season for the traditional spring sports. Baseball and softball had long seasons, plus the regionals. I mean, we were having playoffs until almost to the end of June. And this team really emerged and had a great season. Joining us now on the Inland Sports Show, real treat, head coach at Orange Vista Softball, Coach Roy Johnson. And Coach, man, you're turning Orange Vista into a softball power in a short amount of time. Looking back at the season, what were kind of the keys to success? What made you guys good this season at Orange Vista?
Well, there was a plethora of things, but it all starts with positivity. That was just kind of our mantra this year. Just every year, but it really took hold. It really came to fruition this year as far as being positive all the way throughout. I think just having a year and a half of something that has never been, in our lifetime, never been dealt with. I think that definitely gave our squad and just our overall program a newfound appreciation and love for the sport. And so we're very positive out there, and that's in and of itself is what helped us get to where we needed to get to.
Did you, going into the season, did you feel like, hey, this is a group that could make a CIF championship run, or did it kind of come together? How would you describe the season that you guys just had?
Well, I would describe it as, it was the perfect combination of ups and downs. that propelled us to where we got to. You know, in any season, you're going to need, you know, a good amount of, you know, just strong play, and we had that. But you also need your pieces of humble pie, and we had a couple pieces of those at the right time, and that just got us prepared for a real good run there in CIF, and it just all worked out, perfect timing.
So you guys make it to the Division VI finals. I know it was a tough loss against St. Bonaventure. In hindsight, if you guys got another crack at St. Bonnie, feel like it might have went differently?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've had several people commented about, you know, if St. Bonaventure played Orange Vista, you know, 10 times, like, you know, they're sure that, you know, it would have went 5-5. That's how close evenly matched teams were. And so, if, you know, if a couple things bounce our way, I think it's a different result. But St. Bonaventure is a great ball club. We're a great ball club, and they just were on the better side of it that day. But, you know, if we were to meet again, you know, hopefully we would be on the better side of that.
Well, Coach, I wish we could list all of your great players, but who were some of the players that really stepped up this season and helped you guys through the playoffs to get to that championship game?
Oh, wow. We had I wish I could list my whole team, because like we say, it's a team effort, you know. But, you know, specifically, you know, softball really starts with the battery. It starts in the circle and what's going on behind the plate. And we just had senior leadership. We had 2 seniors that were dominant this year in those spots. So our pitcher, who we, you know, I still hang my hat on the fact that we had the best pitcher in Division VI. Her name is Cristiana Arballo, and she had a great season. And then our catcher, Annabelle Calderon, also had an amazing season. And so between those 2 players, they just kind of, you know, propelled us to to our heights. In addition, we had 3 freshmen come in, and they were like just new fresh, reinvigorating lifelines for our squad, and they came in and just really basically they were instrumental in turning around just the overall scope of the program. They were positive kids, great ball players, and so OV is going to be in a good place for a few years with those type of kids coming in.
And Coach, you know, when you, instead of having a team that's good for 1 year, if you're trying to build a program that's going to be consistently good year after year, you kind of need that, like you said, strong leaders, especially in the circle and behind the plate, that battery, but also some young players that you can build for the future, right? Like that's the hallmark of a great program, I guess. Is that safe to say?
That's spot on. You couldn't have said it. I couldn't have said it any better myself. So you want to just, you know, every year if you can get a couple of freshmen to come in and that, you know, that project to be just instrumental parts throughout their high school career, you know, those are the programs that are usually going to be pretty consistent with their level of play and growth. And we had that this year. The 3 freshmen that come in, we call them, you know, our green shirts. They wear, you know, Orange Vista. Of course, our colors, school colors, are orange. So, but we, you know, in order to get there, they start the season off with green shirts. So that means, you know, they've got to earn it, and these kids earned their green shirts off, and they, you know, they just did an amazing job. So but as far as freshmen that come in and reinvigorate a program, they did that. And so that's how you build a program, is just keeping those type of kids coming in that buy into what your tenets are. And our tenets are, like we said, we talked about before, just positivity, working hard, you know, controlling the controllables, the energy, effort, and focus of what we do every day, and getting 1% better. And we did that this year, getting 1% better every day. And that's what we did this year. That's what our goals were. And we did a good job of doing that.
And finally, Coach, now the expectations are going to be sky high, right? Like every year, people are going to be like, Orange Vista, got to be in the hunt for a CIF title, right? Like the standards way up here now, Coach.
I mean, listen, the cat's out the bag. The cat's out the bag. You know, I mean, our story of where we started from, the school has only been open for 5 years, and we're the softball program itself started from. I mean, we didn't have a field the first year. We were going to the local city park on a bus every day to practice. So all of the hurdles that you could imagine of being a first-year school with softball were there. And so to get to this point, and then us kind of, have the great season, being fortunate enough to have the great season we had. And I thought we would have made some noise last year too, as well. But for it to come to fruition the way it did this year, the cat's definitely out of the bag. So and it's okay. It's a great challenge. It's a challenge that we look forward to meeting every year. Yeah.
Well, Coach Johnson, I really appreciate the time. I really enjoyed this. Thanks for coming on. It was a heck of a run to get to that championship game. And like I said, when we talk about those top softball programs in the IE, people are going to be name dropping Orange Vista now.
I hope so. That sounds good. Pep, I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great season, and good luck to you in all your endeavors.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. That is Roy Johnson, the head softball coach for the Orange Vista Coyotes, joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, Coach, so much. We do appreciate the time. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. A big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez. Again, he's taking the night off. We gave him the night off. We said stay home, relax. It's the summertime. We've got a big high school football season coming up, so we'll be back in the studio come next week. But tonight, we did it. I think we actually managed to get a whole show in from my living room, so everything worked out. But a big thanks to Johnny Nunez, all of our guests, Coach Johnson, Coach McMains at King High School, Coach Dawson at Temecula Prep. We appreciate all of their time for joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. Make sure you subscribe to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We'd really appreciate it. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the Inland Sports Show.